Hey there. Clicking on this video tells me that you've experienced something that I wish no one in this world would ever have to experience. And for that, my heart goes out to you. Because the feelings of rejection and betrayal and feeling so insignificant and small and unworthy and the things that are probably going through your head right now, it takes a toll on someone and it's not easy. And again, I know it's painful, it hurts, and there's so many things that we'll touch on in this video, but I want you to know that your pain is real. It's okay to feel how you feel, but I also know that you don't want to stay there. And how do I know that? Because I was there. And I will share a little bit of my story as we move through, but by clicking on this video, you'll find out in this video, I will share whether you found out that your partner just cheated today, or it's been something that happened years ago and you're having trouble kind of processing, moving through it, whatever it is. But in this video, we'll go through things that will help you heal and move past that and leave it behind so that you can experience a loving and nurturing and amazing relationship in the future, because that's what you deserve. So stick around, because that's what we're going to go over today. My name is Carrie. Welcome to my YouTube channel, where we talk about all things mindset, motivation, and manifesting, and how to use these tools to level up in every area of your life. And you watching this video today is a sign that you are going to be celebrating something soon in your life. So get ready for it. Get ready for it. So yeah, I'd say the biggest thing with this video is it's not necessarily about pointing fingers and blaming and things like that, although we will kind of talk about some things that the person that cheats feels and what they're experiencing, but more so about you and about moving past the hurt and where you're at, and making progress to move forward, to be open to love again and feel that, and so that you don't have to walk around with that pain of feeling that rejection, like I had mentioned earlier. And I remember, and in sharing a little bit, I was in a relationship that, after years, and again, most times when someone cheats on someone, they feel that they don't see it coming. And the reason why we don't see it coming is because you would never do that to someone else. Like, you don't even fathom, that's not even on your radar. And so when something like that happens to you, it's much often described as a blindside, or just hit me out of the blue, came out of nowhere, like just shocked. And that's because, there's signs and things that we may have ignored, but it's because you're not capable of doing that. You would never think of doing that. So you can rest assured that that's probably a big reason why you didn't see some of these signs. But we're going to talk about this moving forward. Okay, so I want you to know that the pain from someone cheating on you is real, and it's so intense because it encompasses so much more than just, oh, they did that or this happened. No, it's more than just the betrayal. It's a death of a relationship, the relationship that you're in, the death of the dream of the future that you had planned together, the doubt that now is in your mind of, was it really what I thought it was? Was it real? Was this whole thing fake? How is this the only time they've cheated? Have they done it before? How long has it been going on? The not being able to trust yourself with that, right? Moving forward, not being able to trust others, painting all of the potential partners in this world for you, painting them with a broad brushstroke and saying they're all cheaters. I'm not going to trust anyone, right? And the scary part coming out of that is the fear of being alone for the rest of your life. We're not meant to be alone, right? And doubting your ability to see the signs, see others, judge character and integrity in others, and not having that confidence that you're a good judge of character. Well, I'll tell you right now that you don't have to worry about those things, because some people are really good at hiding things. And how do people get good at things? They do it over and over, right? Just like, there's people that get good at things that are beautiful and amazing in this world, there's people that get good at things that aren't. So it's more about the focusing on where you're at right now and moving through. So we're going to touch on some initial reactions, what to do, kind of a 911. What do we need to do right now? Then we're going to talk about what you can do to heal and move forward. And at any point, I am more than happy to have a conversation with you because I know it's hard, right? And a lot of times the things that feel logical to us, the advice that we get, the things that we read, whether it's on YouTube or books or anything in healing and moving forward, it just doesn't make sense. And that's because when you're in that storm, you can't see clearly, right? And a lot of times taking the step back, letting things calm down and just getting that clarity. Like when there's dirt in a glass of water and you shake it up, there's nothing you can do to force that to get clear any faster than if you just let it sit, take a step back. And that's what we're going to talk about today, right? Is these are things that you can do to let that dust settle, get the clarity you need to move forward and live the happy, fulfilling, loving life that you deserve. So right off the bat, initial reactions. I remember when I first found out, man, it was not pleasant. Right? Not pleasant. And I mean this, and again, there's so many people that are like, oh, you should say this and do this and do this. No, it's not. It's not about pointing fingers and blaming. It's about serving you right now, the person that just discovered that this is going on. Okay, so number one, do no harm. Do no harm to you, yourself. And I say that because I let the actions of one person in this world lead me to within 10 minutes of taking my own life. No one has that power over you. No one. Right? Unless you give it to them. And they do not deserve that. So do no harm to yourself. Do no harm to others. Revenge is, there's so many things. I saw different things and everything else. I've heard stories. I've worked with clients that have taken some steps towards that, right? Whether it's, publicly trying to shame on social media, like flatten people's tires and like whatever. Like there's been crazy stuff, but revenge is not the answer. The eye for an eye is not the answer here. Okay, so do no harm to yourself, do no harm to others, and do no harm to anything. Right? That punching walls and stuff like that, you're just gonna have the same problems, the same feelings, and you're gonna have a hole in your wall and a sore fist. So do no harm to you, do no harm to others, do no harm to yourself. Next thing, connect to someone that can support you. Right? Someone that has your best interest in mind. You know who those are. Trust your intuition, right? Because there's people out there that you can connect and talk to that have your best interest and that care about you moving forward. And there's also others that are just there for the gossip, unfortunately. So if you can't distinguish who that is right now with the clarity, you don't have that clarity, and I get it. It's tough to have that. I searched for that. I couldn't find it. I looked for someone that was, number one, experienced exactly what I experienced, right? An ongoing betrayal that lasted months that I was completely unaware of. And so someone that experienced that. And then they didn't stay as a victim. They acknowledged it and moved forward, right? So they were successful after, and that they were outside of my circle. That was the hardest thing. And I couldn't find it. And that is why I have become, and I am filling that role for others. So if that's you right now and you're looking to have those conversations, you have questions, what to do, what are the feelings that you're feeling, all of those things, reach out to me. I can serve and support you with that. Okay, so connect to someone that can support you. Also, whether that's friends, family, whatever that is, counselors, therapists, coaches, whatever that is, it doesn't necessarily have to be me, but reach out. You do not have to go alone. Putting passive aggressive comments on social media and things like that, like or just shutting in and suppressing and repressing everything you're feeling is not the answer. Okay? So connect to support. All right, next one. Their actions say everything about them and their character, not necessarily about yours. Maya Angelou has a great quote. Once someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Right? There's so many times we try to justify, oh, well, it was just once. You really know that? You don't. And generally, if it happens once, it's going to happen again. right? You know, and I'm sure there's going to be people in the comments that say, oh no, you know, it happened once and this and this and that. Okay, I get it. There are exceptions, and I'm not denying that. But generally, if we go with the percentages, it wasn't the first time, and it ain't going to be the last time. So once someone shows you who they are, believe them the first time. Okay? So, and just settle into that it says more about them than you. And it hurts you because you can't even fathom doing that to someone you care about and love. So, okay, so then once you have, and so moving through, right when you find out something like this, the news, so do no harm, connect to support, know that their actions say more about them than you. Once you have the evidence you need, once you know that, okay, this happened, right? Stop searching. Don't dig deeper, because there are things that you will find out. There are things that you will learn, things that you will see that you can't unsee. I know that from experience. Once you have the evidence you need to know that that person is a liar, that person cheated, that person is unfaithful, stop. You have what you need. Okay? Trust me on that one. So now moving through, I talked about an eye for an eye, like revenge isn't the answer, right? Stay aligned. Know that their actions cannot make you be someone that you cannot be, cannot make you be out of character. Right? And if you do jump into revenge, or you go, oh, I'm going to go cheat on someone because they did, or something like that, then that just justifies to them that, oh, I know that you were like that anyways, or I knew you were, you know, this or that. You had it in you. You were putting up a front. No, that's a lie. Their actions cannot make you be someone you don't want to be. And know that the more you stay in that integrity, the more you stay authentic to yourself and don't give in to that temptation of getting that revenge, not only does it sting for them, because they know that they lost someone that isn't like that. And you know that you were protected and moved away from someone that is like that. So know that their betrayal and lies and deceit cannot make you join that club, because that's not who you are. And then, you know, from a physical standpoint, I guess, like, there's a whole bunch of things that I'm not going to include in here. These are just like the tip of the iceberg on stuff, because I want to keep it relatively tight for today. But one thing that's realistic is get tested for diseases, right? If they're doing it with one person, chances are they're not the only one. And whoever they're sleeping with probably isn't the highest outstanding moral person in society either. Right? And you can just imagine the network there. So get tested for your peace of mind, for your safety. Yeah. Okay. So now let's talk about, so that's the initial reactions, what we do. So do you know, and we talk about when someone cheats on you, do you work on things? Like, what does that conversation look like? Do you move on? Do you drop it? Now, this is my personal opinions on things. I know that there are people that have experienced infidelity, that have move forward in their life, and they say, yes, our relationship's better than ever. Good for you. Good for you. And if both sides are willing to do the work, I'm sure that that's possible. But from my experience, personal experience, and from clients that I work with, once someone cheats, it's over. Love cannot exist where trust does not exist, right? You just can't, because no matter what, it could be a month later, it could be 5 years later, you're always going to have that doubt in the back of your head. The minute that they're 10 minutes late coming home from that work meeting, or they're out with their friends on whether it's a night out with the girls, or it's whatever it is, a business meeting where it's, oh, we had to stay late for this business meeting, or they don't answer the phone. The minute that comes in, that is immediately where you will go. And that is nowhere to live. That is no place to live. You deserve better than that. So my personal opinion, when someone cheats, they're out. They will never hear from me again. And it doesn't matter to me, because again, Maya Angelou, right? When they show you who they are, believe them the first time. So that's my personal opinion, right? I welcome your opinion in the comments, but that's what YouTube's all about, sharing with you. So if that's the mindset that you are of, and again, like once you break my trust, that's it. That's it. So, okay. And then thinking about from what does the cheater feel sometimes? Like I want to touch on that. And I do have notes down here and up there. So is that know that you don't have to live your life looking over your shoulder. The cheater has been living a double life. Really. Trying to hide things. They probably lied to their family. If you have kids with this person, they've been lying to you, deceiving your kids, right? And how many other people of their friends and in your circle have they been trying to kind of skulk around and carry on with these things, depending on how long it's been. And really, what kind of a life is that, knowing that you've got to look over your shoulder for eternity, hoping that stuff never gets out? And think about it. There's I think it's Rumi quote that says the three things you can't hide: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Might be Buddha, but you can let me know in the comments below if you want. But truly, that's it. You can't hide it. And knowing that the longer they stack lies on top of lies to cover up that past, to try to make you look like you're the bad person, the gaslighting, all of it, the more they stack on top of other things, that eventually, when that house of cards comes crumbling down, everybody's going to look back and be like, it makes so much sense. And that's not up to you to deliver that justification, right? So just realize that day will come. And you don't have to be the one that does it, right? And that's where we hear and I'm not going to get into it today, but about forgiveness is about not condoning their actions, but moving forward with your life and just releasing that, saying, I'm not carrying that with me. And that was I struggled with that for so long. And if you'd like a video maybe on forgiveness and kind of that process, comment below. I'd if you're interested in that, and I can do a video later on that. But moving forward, okay, so that's what it is. And I mean, you'll hear advice from a lot of people. There's an Edith Eger quote, and I absolutely love it. I'm going to read it because I want to make sure that I get it proper, because it hits. It's time doesn't heal. It's what you do with the time. Healing is possible when we choose to take responsibility, when we choose to take risks, and finally, when we choose to release the wound, to let go of the past or the grief. And that brings us to this point in the video, where what do you do now? The title, watch this if you've been cheated on. So whether that happened today or 10 years ago, if you're still carrying that time, and you've probably seen, if it's today, know that we can shorten the time you're in that storm exponentially by moving through with these steps. And if you've been carrying it through for years, it's time to let it go and move on. And again, this does not condone their actions at all, but it's about you living your life and the life you deserve. So it's doing the work. Okay, so here's what we're going to touch on: doing the work. Focus on what you can control. Okay, focus on what you can control. What is in your control? What's in control? Your actions, your thoughts, your beliefs. All of that. Not anything about them. Don't worry about them. They signed their deal, they're out. Right? You've discovered who they are. It's time for you to make space for someone in your life that actually respects you, that you can trust and will love you unconditionally, and that is what's on its way to you. So focus on what you can control. Now that starts with healing. Healing is the first thing, right? Acknowledging the feelings that you're feeling, and it's okay to feel that way. It's okay to feel hurt, right? The feelings of rejection, unworthiness. I could give you a laundry list, 50 things long that I felt. None of them feel good, but it's about focusing on where you want to go. Where do you want to go? Not what you're like. It's acknowledging and feeling what you feel right now, but knowing you don't want to stay there. Okay, and that's what I can support and help you with, because it's hard, right? So in the healing thing, block them on socials, right? A few things you can do right away, things that are in your control, block them. You don't need to. Don't go, as tempting as it is to wonder, are they out and about with someone? Are they doing this? What are they doing? And all they. Don't. Block them. They're in your past. Leave them there. Feel the feelings. Know that you don't want to stay there. Process, right? You can process those with coaches, with counselors, therapists, whatever it is, but don't suppress and repress them. It doesn't get better on your own. Time does not heal. It's what you do with the time. Okay? Acceptance. What happened, happened. Sometimes those thoughts that come through your head, right? And it hurts, right? Those images of someone cheating and this, we try to convince ourselves that it wasn't that bad. I remember some of the excuses and stories that came out in conversations, and it's like, man, I believed them because I didn't want it to be true, but you have to accept it. And when someone does that and then you take a break from them, or they're this or that. Like, they're not going out on a solo journey of reflection in that time away, right? Whatever you want to call it, they're out there with other people, maybe going back to the person they cheated with, all of that stuff. You don't need that in your life. You deserve more. Okay, so the acceptance of that. But now with the acceptance of that also comes a little bit of ownership, right? Patterns. Is this the only relationship that you've had that someone cheated on you? Is there something in the past? Maybe little things like that. So patterns. What leads to that? Is it something that you say or do? Or I mean, obviously, there's probably definitely things that we can say about the partners that you attract, right? Whether they're narcissistic, whether there's, they have mommy or daddy issues, or like all of those things. I'm not saying that doesn't exist, because that definitely does, right? But, it's about the acceptance and ownership of your part, right? What signs did you ignore? I guarantee there were signs that you ignored. Whether you didn't want to see them, or you just weren't aware of them. How do I know that? Because been there, got the t-shirt, right? So the ownership role comes in the fact that there are things, and I'm going to say we, because I'm feeling you on this, right? And I've been in a similar place. No one knows exactly where you are. And I'm hoping that this video relates with you, and it gives you a little bit of peace moving forward and the hope to move forward. Is that, yeah, you could have shown up different. I could have shown up different. There's things like, at no point did I cheat on someone or lie or deceive anyone, right? But I probably, in showing up different, it could have been improvement. How could I improve as a partner? Maybe my communication skills could have been better. Maybe there's signs that were blatantly there that I ignored or just chose to not see, like all of those things. Like there's an ownership role in it, because if you don't own where you are, it's going to be wash, rinse, repeat. And if you sit back and look at the patterns in your life right now, maybe this is cycle number 2 or 3 or 4. And if you don't do anything to change that, it's going to happen again. And that pain you feel right now is going to come back. And if you don't want that, that's where you can reach out. I can support you with that, in kind of those blunt truths that we need to acknowledge and realize, that stuff that's hiding in your blind spots that you can move forward and process through, so that you don't have to deal with this again. And that being said, I want to say, for men specifically, right? I know men that are in relationships right now that their partners, women, are like anything less than screaming to them. They love the women love their men, but there's problems in the relationship. There's trouble, right? And they're trying to communicate, and the guy says, "Yeah, I hear you," but they're not doing anything about it. And if you don't do anything about it, these are the guys that, and why do I know that? Because I've, been there, got the t-shirt, right? Like, and looking back, you see these things, but when you're in it, you can't see it. And this is where those things are going to come out, like, hit me out of the blue and stuff like that, right? That's where this comes from. So men, you need to have the conversations. You need to not only have the conversations, you need to do something with that information. Right? You need to communicate. You need to specify your needs, your wants. You need to listen to your partner's needs and wants. Right? In order for a woman to feel loved, she needs to feel safe, heard, understood, seen. And if you're not doing that, you're going to have problems. Okay? And so maybe looking in the past, right? If you've been cheated on, where was that not happening in your world that contributed to this? And acknowledging that and owning it is going to support you moving forward. Because if nothing changes if nothing changes. Nothing will change in your relationships if you don't change something moving forward. Learn the lessons. And ignoring it does not help. Jordan Peterson has a great quote. It's ignored things grow in the darkness outside the city until they become monstrous and then break down the walls. You can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. I'm telling you. So men, as much as it stings, be better. Right? The best thing that you can do moving forward is improve. Don't look back. It's so easy, and trust me, it feels so good. There's clients that I've worked with that have had those blow up moments in front of everyone, in front of their kids. Well, this happened and they did this, and to the point where they show video or pictures and this and they say it feels so great in the moment, but moving forward, they wish they didn't do it. Revenge is not the answer. You're better than that. You're better than that. The best thing you can do is become the best version of you. Heal, become better, learn, grow, show them what they're missing out on, and know that they will never have a chance of being with you again. Why? Because they don't deserve it. And what you put out in the world comes back. So when you only exude love and kindness moving forward and empathy and become better, that is what you will attract. How do I know that? Because I did that as well. So, and that's what I can support you with, right? And so if you are looking for support with that, reach out to me, right? There's so many clients that I've got, that I've worked with, and guys that I've worked with that have been in those moments where all seems hopeless. It's like, why can't they just see that I'm the best guy for them? Why can't they see I can forgive them? I can do this. Why did they do that? Well, how am I not good enough? Don't ask why you're not good enough or things like that. Just ask what's going on in their world, right? There's something going on inside of them to cause them to cheat on someone, to be disloyal and unfaithful, right? A lot of times it's insecurities, it's confusion, it's unhealed trauma, like stuff in their background that causes people to do that. Hurt people. It's a quote, but it's true. And that's why I want you to heal and not be a hurt person that bleeds out on the future relationships in your life. Okay? And now if this resonates with you, you can like the video, subscribe to the channel. I mean, it's all about using our mindset and motivation and manifesting to heal from the past, move forward, become the best version of yourself. Other videos, which I will tag in the comments, are never begging someone to be with you, what to do when you hear I need space, believing people's actions over their words, moving on after breakup, divorce, stuff like that, what to do when you're single. And I'll go in the relationships playlist. They're all on there. But specifically, a lot of the videos are generalities. Like this is a lot of general, great information, general stuff. So if you want support specifically, reach out to me. I do right now. I have one-on-one spots open. I can serve and support you, right? And shorten the time that you're in that storm. And that's what I want to be for you. So again, I appreciate you joining today. I would love to hear your feedback in the comments below. And if you want to reach out again, you can send me a DM, or my website is kerrykish.com. All of my socials are at kerrykishcoaching. I'll tag those in the comments below as well. Reach out to me, connect, book a call. I guarantee that if we connect, you will have a different perspective and gain value. I want to serve and support you and add value to your life so that you don't have to stay in this place of pain, and to give you that hope that the loving relationship that you're dreaming of, that you deserve, is possible for you, and it's on its way. But it depends on you doing the work and deciding that that is possible for you. All right. So if you want to keep the momentum going, I encourage you to watch this video that's popping up on the screen. It has to do with mindset, motivation, manifesting. If you have a future video idea, please send it to me. I'd love to hear your comments, right? Let me know what you'd like to hear more of, less of, things like that, because this channel is all about growth and expansion. We're meant to grow, meant to evolve, and become the best version of ourselves. And that's what I'm doing too. This whole YouTube channel is a journal of my growth. And I encourage you to join me on this journey, right? Becoming the best versions of ourselves. And I'm not perfect. No point do I ever claim to be perfect in the past or in the future. And that's the beauty of it. You don't have to be perfect. So thank you for joining today. I am grateful for you. As always, until the next video, sending peace, love, and positive vibes your way.